the past several weeks, we have watched the mainstream media do everything in their power to try to convince people that The Acolyte is actually a giant success, despite the fact that a fan base has completely and totally rejected it, despite the fact that each episode that comes out seems to set a new record low for the dumbest thing you could possibly do in Star Wars. The media has been lying the entire time. And we knew that after weeks and weeks and weeks of these lies, eventually the numbers would come out. You could stop blaming the fans, stop pretending like it's just a small section of people review bombing, and they would be forced to admit the reality that this show is a gigantic failure. And then, of course, last week we did get those numbers. We got the numbers that showed that the viewing numbers for The Acolyte were essentially the lowest we've ever seen. It was just above the premiere of Andor, but the big difference was Andor seemed to gain an audience as it went on, as The Acolyte, according to the initial trends, looked like it was losing its audience. Well, now, just like we said a week ago, we have these numbers. The Nielsen ratings are now out for the second episode, well, the second week of The Acolyte, which covered the third episode. And what do you know? It couldn't hold on to its paltry audience that it had. This gigantic flop just got a whole lot worse. There are fewer people watching The Acolyte than any Star Wars show in the history of Disney+. And I want to blow this up. The Acolyte Episode 3 pulls lowest second week viewership of any live-action Disney Star Wars series. And we can look right here. These are the new numbers from The Acolyte. We can check out the top 10. You've got Bridgerton with 3.4 billion minutes watched. That is insane over on Netflix. Your Honor, The Boys, Bluey, Hitman, Grey's Anatomy. All these are over 1 billion minutes watched, by the way. The Acolyte, well, it's not on this top 10 list because it's not in the top 10. You have to go to original content. The Acolyte comes in at number 6 at 370 million minutes watched. The question we asked was, will it be able to hang on to its small, tiny, pathetic audience it had, or will it continue to get worse? We now have our answer, because look at the comparisons. This is the second week for Andor. Of course, that's premiered with 3 episodes. The fourth one would have been the second week. 485 million minutes watched. What about Ahsoka, which was a ratings failure not that long ago? What about its second week? So its third episode after a 2-episode premiere. 487 million minutes watched. The Acolyte, even with its low start, even with its pathetic opening, has already fallen off a cliff. And it'll be interesting to see what the media's reaction will be, because Nielsen is the industry standard. They tried to claim this exclusive data tells us it's actually a giant hit. It wasn't, right? It definitively was not a giant hit. They tried to use data and gaslight everybody and put these headlines out there that made it seem like it was one of the most successful Star Wars shows we've ever seen. But unfortunately, the data they used was not based on actual viewership numbers. It was based on the number of people that were talking about it. And guess what? When 90% of the audience is just shitting on it, that engagement might not mean a whole lot when it comes to ratings. It didn't. The Acolyte is, with 1 episode left, we're finally getting the real numbers. The finale's coming up on Tuesday, and this is very, very fucking disappointing news for Star Wars. This is the reason they've been doing damage control. This is the reason that every time an episode comes out, you got Leslie Headland doing another interview, doing damage control, because they know that the fan base has rejected this. What do you guys think? Finally getting these numbers back, finally getting these ratings back, and it ends up being exactly what we had said the entire time, and that it's proof that the media has been lying. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.